As a business, you're competing for people's attention, and long after the conversation, the interaction that you have with them, well, you want it to stay in their minds. And the secret to staying in their minds for so long after is making them feel something. Because as Maya Angelou so eloquently put it, people remember how you make them feel. And that's why video can do so much for businesses, or should I clarify, story-driven video can do so much for businesses, because it focuses on story, and good stories make people feel something. And that's why I want to share how to make your audience feel something by creating emotionally powerful videos. Now, if video hasn't been working for your business, it's probably because they aren't creating an emotional response within your audience. And for your videos to really connect and resonate, you need that emotional response. You need an emotionally powerful video that unlocks the emotions of your audience. And it starts with 3 very important questions. Number 1, how do I want the audience to feel? If you don't know how you want your audience to feel, then it is going to be really hard to make them feel anything at all. You don't want to confuse them or have them feel too many things and get overwhelmed. Define exactly how you want them to feel and let this be your guide. You should have your audience feel more than one emotion. You are taking them on an emotional journey. They should start the video feeling one way and end feeling another way. And most likely, you'll need one or more other emotions to help them get there. Think of the emotional journey like a stepladder. At the beginning or the bottom, you might want them to feel curious. By the end, you want them to feel exhilarated. Now, the jump from curious to exhilarated is quite large, so what do they need to feel to make that jump more attainable? Maybe they go from curious to agreeable to joyful to excited and then to exhilarated. Mapping out how you want your audience to feel is the first step in creating an emotional journey for your audience. Now, the next question to ask is, how am I going to make the audience feel the way I want them to feel? Now that you have your emotions mapped out, how exactly are you going to make them feel the way that you want them to feel? If you want them to feel curious at the beginning, you aren't going to deliver a sales pitch. That will not make them curious. Instead, maybe you want to ask them a question or start with a bold statement that makes them wonder, or perhaps an intriguing visual will make them curious. Go through each rung of your ladder and determine how you are going to make your audience feel each of those steps. Now, the last question is one you should ask throughout the entire process. How will this make them feel? You should always ask this question because if someone says something or does something or shows something that will make your audience feel anything other than what you want them to feel, it will be a distraction and you need to get rid of it or move it to a more appropriate section where it will work in your favor. Now that you know what you want your audience to feel and how they are going to feel, let's talk about 5 ways to create emotions in video. First, you can create emotion through your on-camera delivery. When you're talking to camera, think about 3 things: how you look, how you sound, and what you're saying. Now, when you think about how you look, this can be as physical as what you're wearing. If you're trying to make your audience feel sad, maybe you go with more muted colors versus vibrant colors. How you look can also refer to your body language. Are you getting too excited and energetic with your body language, or maybe you need to ramp it up even more? Now, when it comes to how you look, remember that last question and ask yourself, how will this make your audience feel? Is it making them feel the right emotion? Next, think about how you sound. Is your intonation and your tone matching the emotion that you want your audience to feel? If you're trying to make them feel excited, you don't want to deliver your lines with low to no energy. Ask yourself, how will this make my audience feel, and adjust accordingly. Lastly, when you're talking to camera, think about what you're saying. Make sure your talking points and word choice are evoking the right emotions. Maybe you need to get more detail, or maybe less. You won't know until you ask yourself, how will what I'm saying make my audience feel? Another way you can create emotion is through your framing. Now, if you're talking to camera, do you want to be more intimate and feel the frame? Or do you want to leave more space in the frame and with your audience to breathe? Or do you want to show the environment more than the person? Choosing your background can also impact what your audience feels. When you're shooting B-roll, will moving the camera create the emotion that you want, or will keeping the camera still do that better? What about your B-roll shots? Will the subjects or actions pull out the emotions you want? If you're talking about saving time, maybe you do want to move the camera to show that sense of urgency. Or maybe you want to film a clock or film a montage to show the passage of time instead of slow, steady shots showing someone getting their laptop set up for the day. By choosing what goes into your frame, you can evoke emotions from your audience. Just remember to ask yourself, how will this make the audience feel? You can also create emotion through lighting. Do you want a brightly lit subject, or do you want to make your audience feel a sense of mystery? Does time of day matter? There is a lot you can do with lighting, but just remember to ask yourself, how will this lighting make my audience feel? You can also create emotion through your edit. Editing, as they say in Hollywood, is where the script is rewritten. It can have such a big impact not just on the story, but also how you choose to make your audience feel. So from pacing to color grading choices to sound design, it can all have such a big impact on how your audience feels so that you can make sure you are being intentional, even down to the clip you're using. Is the emotion it's evoking matching your emotional journey, or does it need to move to a different section, or dare I say, get cut out altogether? Now, the last area to create emotion in is through music. If the music is off, your whole ladder can fall apart. There are tons of sites for royalty-free stock music, but it's so hard to find just the right song that builds at just the right time. Sometimes you're better off using multiple songs and blending them together so that the music can match your audience's emotional journey. You don't want a slow, inspiring song that never builds when your emotional journey is working its way up the ladder to a bigger, bolder emotion. Whenever you are looking for music, before you ever commit to a song choice, make sure that you ask yourself, how will this song make the audience feel? Because remember, an audience always remembers how they felt. Those are my 5 secrets to creating emotionally powerful videos that will unlock your audience's emotions. So intentionally create emotion through your on-camera delivery, your framing, your lighting, your editing, and your music. But if you take nothing else away from this, remember this one question. How will this make the audience feel? If you can remember that question and answer it honestly every time throughout the whole creation process, you will see your videos getting more and more emotionally powerful. And if video strategy is something that you know you need but still haven't quite figured out for your business, then be sure to check out the next video where I will show you how to put everything you've been learning, from scripting to better B-roll to emotional storytelling. I'm going to show you how to put it all together into a video strategy.